Jupiter's legacy talks about Sheldon, aka the Utopian, the squeaky clean leader of the aging hero group, the Union, which includes his brother and his wife. Talk about nepotism. Looks like Dumbledore has been doing some extra lifting lately. Too bad those guns aren't the murderer's type. Sheldon and his group of retirement home Avengers might be collecting dust, but they aren't claiming lives. They have a strict moral code they live by. You may ruffle up the bad guys, but killing them is a huge nay-nay. Which is something that pissed off the new gen, who aren't so keen on the All Lives Matter fiasco. Especially Sheldon's kids, Zac Efron and Alice Cullen. The two kiddos are worlds apart from each other. Brandon is a goody two-shoes suck-up, while Chloe is a rebellious baghead suck-up. The one thing they have in common, their daddy issues. Growing up, Mr. Utopian was a semi-deadbeat absentee father, and his absence sure didn't make Chloe's heart grow fonder because she despises him now, and no amount of pep talks and bagels can patch up the tension between the duo. Though to be totally fair, the broken fatherly bonds might as well be hereditary at this point. Back in 1929, Shell was Daddy's golden boy. Up until the market crashed, their company went broke, and his father threw himself from a building right in front of him. Now that escalated quickly. Perhaps a bit too quickly, because Sheldon went absolutely bananas after this, having full conversations with the disfigured ghost of his father type of crazy. And it only grows worse when he realizes that his dad isn't exactly the all-American goody-goody he claims to be. He's a gritty thief like all of them bastard capitalists. Little by little, Sheldon convinced himself that he wasn't just Daddy's special boy. He was special, period. And there's a great secret mission for him out there. One that he has to accomplish with those closest to him and a bunch of randos he keeps seeing in his visions. But besides his best buddy, diarrhea-haired George, no one gave a tinker's damn what Pretty Boy has to say. So he let the banknotes do the talking, and they sure as hell were convincing. The moment the sailors caught the smell of the dollar bills, they pushed their fears to the sides and sailed towards the great Narnia with their eyes closed and their pockets filled. Soon enough, though, the crew started to pick up the cray-cray waves. Ghost whispering isn't exactly Sheldon's best suit, and his public medium seances aren't doing him any favors. The team's knot management skill set has run its course, and they want out. But before they could lock him up and throw away the key, an island popped out of nowhere. The loony bin will have to wait, I guess. They've got a mystery to solve now. Sheldon, alongside the chosen five he keeps seeing in his vision, dropped by the island to see what's up. But as soon as they set foot there, they could tell the vibes here aren't very chill. And they were right. The island has a mind of its own and was keeping them hostage. There's no escape. Either they ace its tests or they die trying. Lucky for them, Grace has more brains than these boys combined have balls. She figures out all the tricks, pushes them to the right direction, and next thing you know, they all have superpowers. Now back to modern times where the great superhero dilemma is still causing commotion. To code or not to code? Should we off the bad guys when we get the chance, or should we let the courtroom nerds handle it? One thing for sure, Brandon turns a bit ferocious under pressure. One day, OG Union and their offsprings were fighting knockoff Thanos, who's pretty brutal in his tactics. Fearing he'll murder his father, Brandon drops the code and bashes Black Star's head open right then and there. Even though his son just saved his life, Sheldon's boomer energy was too proud to allow his own kid to break his rules, not even for self-defense. Go figure. And that's not the worst part. Turns out the baddie Brandon killed wasn't even the real deal. It was a clone that George/Skyfox fabricated to stir some drama. Apparently, he's also bad news, but we don't know much deets. What we do know is that Walter, who's Sheldon's brother and the mind reader, kindly offered to go inside the mind of this clone, or wherever mushy mess that's left of it at least. This will help them figure out exactly where Mr. Doppelganger originated from. However, this is a pretty dangerous mission, and they'll need all the help that they can get. So they recruit Raikou, a contract killer who also happens to be Walter's daughter. These soups sure don't know how to raise a child. Walter goes in the mine to find George chilling inside, dressed as Batman, and the duo start fighting before Grace joins in on the fun and rescues Walter. Here's the thing though. Somewhere along the lines, Raikou realized Walter isn't the good guy he claims to be. It was him who cloned Blackstar. And he's the one that keeps trying to ruin Sheldon and Brendan's relationship, and framing George for his own evil deeds. Too bad snooping around gets you no happy endings. This realization got Raikou's neck slashed like all of them curious cats. That'll teach her. For a lifetime, Walter kept his true evil fears under wraps, waiting and contemplating for the right moment to strike the Union and to take over the world. And it looks like the clock is ticking louder and louder. The end.